what's the plan of action for today? We're going to go see one of your sites?
So we're on our way in, we're going to go straight to Clapham.
Right, okay.
And there's a team on site now stripping out. It's 60,000 square foot building.
Mm-hmm.
We've been on site now for a month. We've stripped the whole building out. We're now getting the building ready pre-construction for a PD development of about 100 apartments.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a big mess. It has been a big mess. The building's been empty for 10 years.
What was it before?
It was an office block.
Okay.
But a huge office block, and it's been left empty for 10 years, as I say. So we're going to go and then we're going to check what's gone on. I've not been there for the last 2 weeks. I'm going to check what's happened in the last 2 weeks. I know there's some works to the roof going on that I was told about yesterday. There's been leaks in the building, so we need to get the building watertight. So we're going to go up on the roof, check the team have shown up today, so they've started those roof works. We're going to hop back in the car, and then we're going to Mayfair because we've got a meeting. We've got a breakfast meeting in Dover Street at about 10:30. So it's into Clapham, quick whiz round, speak to site manager, see what work's been done, and then head into Mayfair.
So with you, do you just let your site manager, do you have a project manager, site manager? Do you just let them get on with it? Like, how involved are you on these jobs?
I've got a full-time project manager, and I've also got a dedicated site manager on each project. Mm-hmm. So on this one, as I said, it's Daniel, and he's the site manager for the duration of this project. Started on day one, highly experienced guy, and he'll be taking it all the way through to practical completion.
And this is PD, right?
So this is PD.
Yeah.
So this is an office building. This is an office building under permitted development rights to convert into.
So with this, PD is different to HMOs. You can obviously
Completely
hear a
different
lot
to
about
HMOs.
HMOs, a lot of people marketing how easy HMOs are, but
Yeah.
that's not something that
I am sick of the nonsense that I hear daily on social media about how easy and lucrative HMOs are. It's absolute rubbish. I know all about the industry. I've been involved in the industry many years ago. It's a difficult, hard to manage business. Quite often struggling to get money from these tenants every single month. The building regulations for it are incredibly difficult to overcome. And it's a nonsense. You know, there's people out there that I see every day online telling you how easy it is and that you should grow a portfolio of HMOs. And I don't believe it. I don't agree with it. I don't believe it. Personally, I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've got, like I say, some friends I know who are in the industry. They do okay out of it, but the majority of people, yeah, it's not the market we recommend. It's not the
golden egg that it's portrayed to be. I'm not saying it's a bad industry, and I'm not saying people shouldn't do it. I'm just saying I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to be involved in it. There are easier ways, as far as I'm concerned, to make money than getting into HMO. So that's just. Did you buy yesterday and pick up keys for?
Oh yeah, I bought a new house. No, it's through the business.
Yeah.
It's Denmead. So like it sits in Winchester.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I bought a new house just comes under Winchester Parish. But it's a bungalow, bought at auction. So the plan is literally just take the roof off, keep your ground floor as it is, but rejig it, and then stick a new first floor. It's you saw the picture. Auction. So literally, it's just on Rightmove. Went to I know the area well, like very well, because my other site is on literally that same road. Yeah, went to the auction, knew what to spend on it, bid for it, and only one other person bid on it, which straight away you think, okay, this is great, but also alarm bells ringing. Thinking, right, have I done my due diligence here? Yeah, got it for what I would say is a steal. Even some guy who went there just to keep an eye on it came up to me at the end of it and said, "You've got an absolute bargain there."
Brilliant.
So, yeah, so I'm just speaking to architects at the moment to see who to use to go through the design process.
Where's Winchester?
Do you not know where Winchester is?
I've heard of it. It sounds great.
Winchester's like, if you go up there M3 from Southampton, probably 20 odd miles out, up on there on the west side, you got Winchester. Yeah.
I've heard of, Winchester Cathedral.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Or is that Chichester Cathedral?
Winchester. I've only been to Chichester once, and that was to buy a puppy. Yeah, this is what I got into one of these before, and you can put your arm all the way through, can't you? How many miles has it done?
Alcantara
That's
leather.
it, yeah. Love the decal on the front.
Yeah, to be fair, when I even put the deposit down, didn't even know I had that.
No. Yeah.
So we're currently at this project. We're in Clapham.
Yeah, we're in Clapham, and we're on site for a PD development, which is in a 63,000 square foot building.
Okay.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive.
And this was former offices, wasn't it?
It was a former office building.
Right.
I mean, it's huge. It just goes on and on and on. It's going to be ground floor commercial, and then 98 permitted development apartments above, right?
Ground floor commercial. So they're going to rent them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on a
Okay.
lease, rent out the commercial,
Yeah.
and then a conversion, 98 apartments above.
So, great. Do you know what kind of specification they're going for? Well, where this is?
Yeah, so it's London.
Yeah.
They're not cheap, they're not super prime, they're a mid-level specification, right?
1 and 2 beds.
Blend of 1s and 2s. No 3 beds.
Yeah, easier to sell.
1s and 2s.
Yeah, it's a monster. So you've been on site how long?
We've been on site now for, this is our 5th week.
Okay. So literally, was it still effectively with like the drop ceilings, everything? You've had to rip everything out from that point.
Everything's come out. You can see that we've hacked out the screed.
Yeah.
We've started stripping out the entire building. There was drop ceilings that we've taken out. It's
Things like air conditioning, wiring, all of that's all had to come out. Yeah, all of you can see.
You can see where the aircon units were all coming out.
Yeah.
We've had to make good. So you can see all of these patches are making good the concrete. The pillars, the ceilings, the walls have been replastered.
What are you having in terms of? Because I mean, these ceiling heights are ridiculous. So in terms of the actual, oh no, this is the commercial, isn't it, on the ground floor?
Yeah.
Are you having a new drop ceiling going in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've put a new drop ceiling in.
Yeah.
New screed above. And then we've got the M&E package, the mechanical and electrical. So electricians, plumbers will start first fixing in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So that's the next stage, is to get that.
So that's all been designed, everything's going through.
All designed.
Yeah.
So we've got panel rads all around the room. And yeah, it's just a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a big project. 63,000.
63,000 square feet. We should go upstairs and have a look and see how.
And they're the apartments. How many floors?
5 floors.
5 floors.
5 floors.
Okay.
Wait till you see the view from the roof.
Right, okay.
Unbelievable.
So you've got 4 more floors above this, which are all the residential.
Yeah, and wait till you see the views. When we're on the roof, there's a 360-degree view of London.
So those other apartments on the higher floors as well, do they get the views from there?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're 2 minutes walk to the tube.
Okay.
5 minutes walk in the other direction to another tube stop.
Yeah.
So travelling to central London's.
Yeah, easy on and off from the A3. Like, it didn't take too long to get from there, so commuter routes.
It is prime.
Easy enough for everyone.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, have a look upstairs.
Yeah, let's go upstairs. Let's go this way. Yeah. All right. Listen, I've got to go.
Oh, nice.
So so each floor mirrors each other.
Yeah.
Imagine complete symmetry on each side. So you've got this on this side and identical over there, right? And it's going to be apartment.
Yeah.
So where the columns are, they pretty much divide where each apartment's going to be.
Yeah, for each.
You'll have a core central corridor, either side, spanning either way.
Yeah.
And then access to your apartments either side.
Yeah.
So where these windows are kitchen, living rooms, right? And then to the left or to the right, you've then got the bedroom and bathroom.
Every apartment's got external views, and by keeping the central columns, there's no actual structural work. It technically is there. Obviously, it's all stripping out and taking it back to bare bones.
Correct.
You're not having to put new steels in. You're not having to put any structural work in. Everything.
Everything's,
Is it MF?
everything's going to be METSEC, basically.
Yeah.
So it's partition walls.
Yeah.
Really straightforward. The only big thing that's going to happen are new windows.
Okay.
These windows are not going to be policy compliant for apartments.
Yeah. So all metal framework, just tacked, all services run through.
Correct.
Yeah, nice.
But it's a big space.
Was this, how long has it been vacant for? Because as we're walking around, there's obviously some graffiti and bits. Is it been a...
It's been empty for 9 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's been empty for 9 years. It's been used for raves and squat parties. So the waste clearance was immense.
Yeah.
And it took us a month to clear the building of all the crap. Yeah, all the crap. But it's all gone now, and we're working from a clean slate.
But this is what you, to some extent, you've got to have some imagination to even be able to picture, okay, it's a derelict unit, even if it comes to the PD rights or new build like we do as well, you've got to have some imagination to go, okay, I can see it's in a poor state or what's there and what it could be. That's what I think some people miss, don't they? It's looking at an opportunity, not just, oh, it's a rundown building, oh, it's a little bungalow on a big plot. It's seeing, okay, what you could do with that to generate the revenue.
Yeah, so it's location is key. So number one, location. Then once you've identified it, give it to an architect, right? Give it to an architect and explain to them that you want to convert the building into a blend of 1 and 2s that are designed and tailored to your niche market. You know that, so you know the area and you know from speaking to agents what there's a demand for.
Yeah.
So you know already that this area has a high demand for, let's say, 1 and 2 bed apartments, right? Give it to your architect straight away, get them to plan it out, make sure it's policy compliant, and see how many units you can get in.
And then would you let them effectively get to that point, and then you put your input to say, actually, change that, change this. I want to make sure, you know, each has a slightly larger ensuite or a larger living area, or are you normally quite happy with your architect?
Well, it depends. That you're always going to push the pencils with an architect. I'm not suggesting that they're lazy, but you need to push the pencils to make
Question them. Yeah, no.
But you need to push the pencils to make sure that you get the design that you want.
Yeah.
Because you know the market.
Yeah. Well, we said it before as well, didn't we? The architects can be very good at drawing technical and making it work, but there's a big difference to then going, okay, if I was to live in this apartment, how would it be better laid out? How would the flow? Yeah, exactly.
Making sure it's functional.
Because that's the big difference we've seen. Is an architect can do it, developer can build it, and then when it comes to resale, you think, why are they not selling as quick, or why are they not selling for as much as they should?
Yeah.
And that's where someone's not actually sat down and questioned, right, I'm going to live in this one. How would I function? How do I, when I come in the door, what do I want to see? How is the flow from the kitchen to the hallway to the bathroom to the bedroom? All of those things need to be considered.
Yeah, and it's also, you're always going to end up with units that are less desirable.
Yeah, sure.
There's always compromises, right? So that you need to make the most of those compromised units. You know they're going to be the hardest ones to sell. So what you do is you make sure that you identify the units that are, let's say, in the centre of the building. Yeah. For example, with a view that's over that rear courtyard and flank elevation.
Still want natural light, though.
Yeah. But that's going to be the hardest apartment to sell.
Yeah.
The one here on the corner, when the windows are changed.
Dual aspect.
Dual aspect.
Yeah, that's a feature.
Yeah, that's going to sell quickly.
Yeah.
Or quicker. So you need to make sure that these more compromised units are really quite special.
Yeah.
But we're lucky on this one, right? Because it's a nice, big, wide, clear space. Not all office buildings are like this, right?
You've still got, like you say, even though that technically is going to a courtyard, you've got natural light still coming through. Because the amount of time, especially in London, it is blocked on all sides.
Yeah.
And say even if it's a nice hotel, you've always got, like you say, that courtyard setting is often very little light coming in.
Correct.
But here, you still got that natural light.
Just here, you can see you're overlooking a rear building.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've got a flank elevation to the right. So something clever's going to have to be done to this apartment to make it desirable. You see?
Yeah. Even if it's just soft landscaping or something just to soften the brick, or like you say in the courtyard section.
Yeah.
No, it's all those little things that have to be given thought. Because like you say, you don't want to be doing all of this legwork, and whether you build it out, whether you're not, and then you're stuck with units that you can't then sell because you haven't given it enough thought to start with.
Yeah, and it also goes on to the outside, because the reality of office buildings, older office buildings, is that they're not that attractive.
Yeah.
And they look quite old. That's just life.
Yeah, sure.
So you need to make sure that when you're identifying these PD opportunities, that you pay attention to the outside of these.
Yeah.
Because they look quite tired, and you don't want to feel that you're living in an office.
Yeah, it's no different from a residential. You need that curb appeal, isn't it? They could be amazing inside, you can spend all the money on the inside, but if someone's going to walk past and go, I never want to live there because it looks horrendous from the road because they haven't put any money in, you've got to consider all of those aspects.
Yeah. And also you've got the challenges of routing what we call the M and the E. Right? So you've got your mechanical and you've got your electrical. And that is plumbing and electrics. Now you're working around an old building with, we've got concrete floors, concrete ceilings.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be punching through the concrete to bring those services through, and also building regs.
Which is changing all the time as well.
Constantly evolving, they're constantly changing. And so you've got to make, it's not as simple as drawing boxes on a plan.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of complexity that comes into it, and that's where your architect, in conjunction with your mechanical and electrical consultant comes in.
Well,
Because it might look fairly straightforward, but in reality, getting those services to each apartment, 100 of them in this instance, routing it through an old building, through concrete, is not straightforward.
No.
And it's extremely expensive.
yeah. Well, like you say, the fun part is the layout, working how you can get it to work with the existing. It's then you need those experts. So that's why, you know, your experience, my experience, we've got enough contacts that we put together in our black book.
Yes.
That no matter what the project is, whether it's residential, whether it's PD, renew build, extensions, conversions, we've got that full team that you can always rely on. So depending on the location, but you go, okay, I've got this project, I know with our power team, this guy, like you say, get in contact with them, they can do the work for us.
Yeah, I'm desperate to take you on the roof. Wait till you see the view. Let's go and have a look upstairs, yeah. If I can find the way out.
That way.
How about that for a view? Ah, buona divinata. The A-team. Good to see you, how are you? Good to see you.
How's
Good
it
to
going,
see you.
guys?
Good to see you.
All good?
So what we're doing,
Wow.
roof leaks. Okay, stripping back the shingle and the old bitumen, yeah? Okay. Okay, lots of leaks in this building where it's been left empty for so long. But how about that for a view?
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah?
Incredible.
Over to Nine Elms, further across to the right to Vauxhall. If you keep going, you can see the London Eye and Shard in the far distance.
Yeah, that is incredible.
So there's going to be an apartment up here.
Oh, really?
So over here to the left,
Yeah.
that gets converted into an apartment, which is basically a penthouse.
Yeah.
Imagine that, right?
Just the one on the roof.
Yeah,
So
just the one on
would
the roof.
this be like a wraparound terrace, or is that what the plan is?
It's going to be a roof terrace,
Yeah.
yeah. It's going to be a communal roof terrace. Fantastic, right?
Yeah.
I think that's Crystal Palace over there. Every time I come up here, I notice something, I see something different.
Yeah, that is pretty special. That, you're not going to get bored of looking at that, are you?
No. Fantastic, right?
So we've obviously just come back from your site with Zing. That's quite a substantial project, what, 63,000 square foot? So not everyone is going to necessarily want to be on site doing the work. So some things that we focus on is really just doing the deal sourcing, isn't it? So rather than being on site and doing the development work, you can actually deal source and make your profit on the margin.
Yeah, of course. So like, this isn't rocket science. It is not rocket science, and it's scalable. So as long as you're out there, you're sourcing commercial opportunities. If you want to get into the PD, you register with the commercial agents, you source buildings that are within your budget, you get your team involved, which is in our black book.
Yep, right? Power team.
And you then move forward. And there's substantial profits to be made in this. You don't have to put a spade in the ground.
Yeah.
You secure the property, get the permitted development consent for those apartments, and then sell it to a developer. You don't have to put a spade in the ground and get your hands dirty. It's a lucrative business as long as you've got your deal sourcing nailed on at the front end.
It's the same, residential, commercial, it's pretty much the same model where you're just doing the deal sourcing, like you say, making your profit on the difference.
Correct.
Thanks for joining us today on the Property Developer Masterclass.
If you want to learn about property development, land sourcing, and how to make six-figure sums through both, arrange a call.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
If I catch a cold from you,
Oh, mate, I haven't got the cold
You
anymore.
might be bigger than
No.
me, but I'll tell you
It's
what.
literally just that last bit where it's on my chest.
I'm like one of those honey badgers. I'm like, I'll bite, I'll just hang off his ear.
Yeah. I'll send it
Like I'm Jack Russell. 5 floors.
5 floors.
5 floors. It's when Mike says white, but Mike doesn't say white, he says white. White. We have to pause to let Brandon know that we've stopped talking. But when you pause and you're still looking at each other, it's like the other day, like Mike paused and his little bottom lip just quivered, and it was a real moment for me.
I was intimidated by your handsomeness, mate. I couldn't handle
I just got this like. He gets up and he's like that. His ears are down, his tail's down. He's plodding around. Then Ellie gets up. Just look, her head's down.
I thought you were talking to the neighbours, not a morning person.
No,
I didn't realise you were talking about the dog.
No, the dog. He's not a morning guy.